The Great Imposter. Isn't this absolutely amazing?
I'm a retired naval officer, and I volunteer with the archives at the Maritime Museum. I'm working on cataloging the uniform collection. A couple of weeks ago, I was going through one of the cap boxes, and I came across this cap here. When I'm looking at these, I always check for a name in them.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this one, fortunately, had a card in it. As you know, people often put their personal card in their caps. And that is the card that was in this cap.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes, that's what I said when I saw it.
The Great Imposter.
Yes.
Well, his name was Waldo Demara, and he grew up in Maine. And at one point, he heard that they were looking for doctors in the Royal Canadian Navy. So he presented himself to the staff officer at Fredericton, was it? Anyway, they said, sure. So they sent him up to Halifax, and they outfitted him as a medical officer. And guess what? He was our doctor. We noticed, but didn't pay much attention to it. Joe neither smoked or drank anything. But he sure was the life of the party. He regaled us with all kinds of stuff. Well, we didn't know anything about all this, of course, until much, much later when we were out in Korea. I remember I was in the cabin, the captain's cabin, when he worked on the old man's molar. Joe was sent for, and he said, well, Captain, he said, we didn't get much dentistry in med school, but I've got the books. And so they rigged up his cabin as though it was an OR to a large operating theater and hospital. And in comes Joe with his arms up in full whites, cap covered, all set. And he went in, and sure enough, he got the damn thing out. So we said, we got to get you recognition for this, Joe. So we sent a message back to headquarters lauding this wonderful doctor and what he did for our captain, Jamie Plomer, the galloping ghost of the Korean coast. Well, we got the message back saying, have reason to believe your medical officer is an imposter. Investigate and report. And holy darn. So no. Joe said, that is absolute sheer nonsense. Anyway, he locked himself up in his cabin, and he filled himself full of barbiturates, but they didn't work. And eventually, he came out of his daze, and another pal in the ship, Don Saxon, and I got him on deck, and our chummy ship, Ceylon, sent their doctor over to us, and Joe was left our ship. He went with the Ceylon. Eventually, he was returned to Blaine, and we said goodbye. And of course, the real doctor's here was in Edmonton, New Brunswick, and he was the one that blew the whistle. And of course, because he was below the rank of commander, he had this badge, this peak.
I think he had a big head.
He was amazing. Well, I can't thank you enough for bringing this all to my attention after all these years.